Hey everybody, this is Tony and I'm here today with a special guest, none other than singer Dondria. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm glad to see you. You looking good?
Thank you. Thank you. So do you?
Thank you. Thank you. So how have you been doing during the midst of this whole pandemic and everything?
Oh, I mean, I could say that I've been doing all right. I think in the beginning, it was like it, it shocked everybody.
Yeah,
We had no clue what it was and how it was going to impact our lives, how it was going to affect us. I definitely had to kind of work to stay up and stay happy and not sink into just feeling down and that kind of stuff. Cause it was a lot going on. It was all of the brutality, by the
Mm-hmm.
police against Black men and Black women. It was a lot going on at once in the beginning. But on the other side of that, I think that it was really divine. I think that it really like opened our eyes and really pushed us to I don't know, be more creative and be greater because life is short. We don't know when we leaving. So it kind of like
Exactly.
gave me a fire to, just go for it. Like not be afraid to try things, to just be great.
Of course, of course. Now we definitely got to talk about some music.
Yes.
I know you got the single "Let It Be" out that you released this year. So talk to me about the single,
Yes.
because everybody has been waiting on you to put out something new, and we all love your voice. So talk to me about this single.
Yes. Let It Be. That is my baby. I am so proud, and really everything that's coming out and going to come out. I think that I am finally in a place where um, I I know who I am. I know why I'm here. I know what my purpose is, and I know exactly what I want to put out into the world.
Mhm.
So with Let It Be, I really wanted to spread the message and like help people. I don't know, kind of understand that like you don't have to. First of all, you can't control everything. You're not in
Right,
control.
right.
And you don't have to try to control everything. Just let things happen as they're supposed to happen, whether that's a job, a relationship, um, an idea that you have that you're scared to try. Like just
Hmm.
let it be. Just go for it and just watch what the universe, what God does for you.
That's right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to it earlier, and I really loved it. Especially for your style, it was just like perfect, and it was like, wow, okay. So you really are one of the people that I say that is underrated vocalist. I'm sure you probably heard that before, but how has music changed for you, or how did your approach change to music as opposed to your first album?
Well, the first thing I think I just was able to live some life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when I got discovered, I was 19. I was a little suburban Black girl. I was extra protected and sheltered, and I didn't really know much, outside of like the confines of my own home and my own community. So
Hmm.
to kind of get uprooted and placed into this industry and having to go through all the things that everybody goes through. You go through the fake friends, you go through the bad deals. Not saying that that was with JB because I know how people is,
Right, right.
just period. You learn how to manage your money. You blow through your first big lump sum. Like all those lessons that I had to learn. Um, they they kind of like they molded me into a person that actually had something to say,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
person that has learned from experience a lot of things and really has something to say. So I blame it on life experience, and it's really coming from like the heart. These are the one thing that my co-writer Josh Biasi wrote on this song with me.
Okay.
Our goal was to make the people feel it. Like that's what I want. I don't care about anything else. I want to make sure that whatever I put out these people feel me and they relate to me and they can listen to it and go somewhere here.
That's right. That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like, that's what I wanted. So that was the motivation, and literally life, life was the inspiration for that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So now I heard that you're recording a new album.
Yes.
So I'm definitely excited about that. What kind of direction are you going for the album? As of, this is going to be your second album, obviously.
Yes.
That people have waited up for a long time for you. So is it a lot of pressure for one? And two, what is the direction? Do you have a specific direction for it?
So I think at first it was a lot of pressure, which is why it took me so long to do it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just think, well, everybody says your second album, that's the one.
That's right.
That's the one that's gonna make you or break you. The first one is cute, but then the second one it's your chance to show that you really have like staying power, and you really have something to say. So I was a little intimidated at first. I kept making excuses as to why I should just put out an EP instead. You know what I mean? But it's like, how long are you gonna wait? What's the right time? Like, just put it out.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I got past that hump, and then the direction. I mean, I think that the direction, it's most definitely like authentic Dondria R&B. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to make sure with this album and this project that I don't know, challenge the listener to like dig a little deeper. So it's called Perspective.
Okay.
And I named it that because every song on the album has more than one, so even with Let It Be, when you listen to it, your mind might first go to, a relationship.
Right.
But that song applies to my career. That song applies to my relationship with music, and a relationship, a romantic relationship. There's so many different perspectives, and I just wanted to kind of like open it up for discussion.
Yeah, that makes sense though. So when can everybody expect the album? Do we have an exact date already or no?
Okay, so this summer.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Of course, your first album, Dondria versus Phatfffat, that was absolute classic. Everybody that I know still talks about that album when it comes to you to this day. I never forget my sister used to play "You're the One" like over and over and over again till I was just sick of it. And I was like, you know what? Don't play that song ever again. Like I love it now though, for my listening to it now, I love it. But back then she used to play that song out. But I didn't realize at the time, like my sister's like 5 years older than me. So at the time she thought she was in love probably. But she felt it a little bit more. But now I understand. But talk to me about, when you look back at that album, what do you think about now? And what do you see that you didn't when you were in the process of doing it?
I guess I just, at that time, like I was just going with the flow. You know what I mean? I trusted Jermaine Dupri, Bryan Michael Cox, Jonte Austin, Cristal, and everyone else who was a part of the album. I just trusted them to, creative direct it and executive produce it. And I just showed up and sang, I could relate to some of the songs, and I wrote on the album as well, but it's just different when it's like completely coming from you. It feels different. I feel like the listener can tell the difference. But I love that album, and I'm so happy that I hear people considering it a classic album, and I consider it a classic album. Like, I'm so happy that was my introduction into the world. It was a really great introduction, and I learned so much, about myself. I was in the studio with these amazing people, and it was like the learning curve was like crazy, like
exactly.
And then JD, he did not put no auto-tune or nothing on my voice. Like, he made me sing for real, and if I didn't get it right, you're gonna sing it again. And when I listen to it now, it's still some parts where I'm like, oh my God, you know. But it's authentic. It's an authentic Dondria, aka Phatfffat sound. They helped me create my sound, and yeah, it's my little baby. It's always gonna be special.
Yeah, I'm sure. And you know what? I don't think people really realize sometimes the things that you have to go through as an artist, you know. You probably didn't even realize before yourself, before you got into it. But
Mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly, JD found you off of YouTube singing and eventually signed you. So
Mm-hmm.
did you ever have somebody in your corner, or you know, anybody period, that even knew what was about to happen and that was able to, like, you know, guide you besides JD?
Well, I had a couple of people. My boyfriend, he was very, very supportive, and he was kind of pushing me to keep, doing the videos and keep
Mm-hmm.
posting on MySpace. MySpace was really big back then. So
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
him. And then I also had Broadway. I grew up singing with him. We've known each other since middle school. He's in a lot of my videos on YouTube. So he was,
Mm-hmm.
pushing me and like inspiring me to keep doing it too. He was helping me tap into my creative. Because I really didn't even know. I wasn't writing, I wasn't in the studio, I wasn't doing anything. So I would say those two were kind of pushing me like hardcore. I had my parents and other friends that were supportive, but I would say those two, they kept pushing me like, no, keep going, girl. You got, they was on that. So yeah.
Exactly, exactly. But you have to have somebody like that, you know what I'm saying? Because when you don't have the you know, capacity to really grasp everything that's coming your way, it's like, what do I do now? You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I can, you know, definitely understand that, especially back then, you like were so young too,
Yeah.
you know, coming in the game. So it's like, oh, what, you know, this is a whole new world,
It
I'm
was.
sure. You know,
It
when
most
you
definitely
were on
was.
YouTube though, just doing those videos, like, were you expecting anything to come out of that?
Not at all. I really, I just had this conversation last night. Like I only went on there because I wanted to know what a stranger thought of my voice. I wanted to know what they saw or what they heard when they saw me on the screen. And it just turned into so much more. I wasn't expecting it at all.
Yeah, yeah. It's like people are saying now on Twitter with those threads that you had to be there. Like, you know, it really was a special era in time. Like when you
Yeah,
were on YouTube and when your first album came out, it was just something different.
it
You know,
was.
so how do you feel about music now? R&B music specifically. How do you feel about it now? Because, you know, obviously it has changed within the last year, for instance.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so what are your thoughts on that now? And you know, since you're stepping back into music wholeheartedly.
I'm actually really excited about R&B right now. Um, it's funny because when I did get discovered and, we put You're the One out and a couple more singles out and put the album out, it seems like right after that, music shifted.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally just got to get my feet wet, and then it was like it was like, wait, I just got here. So
Yeah.
from that moment to now, I see it and I hear it kind of like transitioning back to that sound again. And I'm really excited about it. I love Jasmine's album. She killed it.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I mean, it was just great. And I think she did a really, really good job merging everything, being authentic to who she is, giving us that real musicality, but also being, current and,
Mm-hmm.
lit. You know what I mean? So I
Exactly.
love her
Exactly.
album. I love all the men that are coming out, Giveon, and I'm really excited about it. I mean, and I'm excited to be a part of it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. During that time that you put that first album out, or after you put it out, rather, you said the music shift, which it did. Was that a part of you, or was that a reason for your, you know, break or your hiatus?
Um, yeah, somewhat. I mean, I didn't know, and I think I could speak for JD as well. We were trying to figure out how and where I fit in with this new sound, because we just created the sound and now it's different. So I think that for a little bit we were trying to figure out where I fit in. And then after that, I didn't really know what I wanted to say. You know what I mean? I didn't know what I even wanted to put out into the world. So, somebody like me, like I'm not about to just be doing stuff just to do it. I need purpose in my life. So I didn't put anything out. I mean, and I do have EPs out.
Right.
The first EP I dropped in 2017, and then I did something with Broadway. So I started later, putting stuff out, but before 2017, I didn't even really know what I wanted to do. So I just didn't do anything. Yeah.
So that was pretty much like a figuring out it out phase for you then, pretty much, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense though. I think, people don't understand too that as an artist, you really have to know, who you are, because how can I give you something that I don't believe myself, or how can I give you something that I want, to push off on you, and I don't even know nothing about this. So
yeah, and the people, they know, you know what I mean?
Right.
They know when you're being real and when you're being authentic and this is who you are, and they know when you're trying to just see if something sticks. They know, you know what I mean? And I did try. I tried to put out a few records, and the people that were looking for that sound were here for it. But the people that knew who Dondria was like, girl, what is this?
Right.
They know.
Yeah, because you had already pretty much built a fan base on YouTube. And then, when you came on with that first album, that just helped the world open up, know who you were a little bit more. So it was already established, but then it was like, okay, what happened? So, it was one of those things. I call it like the Jennifer Hudson syndrome, because I always say, like, she has a wonderful voice, a great voice, one of my favorite vocalists, but it's like, when it comes to records, it's almost like, okay, what's going on? In your case, though, you actually did have like a hit or a few hits, which Jennifer probably might have not had as much, but it's just unfortunate sometimes that records don't necessarily translate like your vocals do, as far as that is concerned. So I'm like, we have some of the best vocalists out here, but when it comes to records, it's like, it don't work. I don't know why. And it's not necessarily because it might not be, your song or something, but it just doesn't click all the time. That's just the logistics of it, I guess.
Yeah. And I think that as creatives and as artists, we go through seasons,
Yeah.
I think one difference between the artists that have come before me and the artists that are kind of that came out, or whatever, that are out now, they used to continue to reinvent themselves all the time. Every album was a different vibe, a different sound, a different look, a different everything. And I think that, I don't know, I think that the listener maybe has gotten spoiled or something. And so we don't really embrace that the same way anymore. Now we have to like warm the people up to the new version of us. We're not so open to, those new things anymore. Beyonce is probably like one of the last artists that continues to completely reinvent herself every album.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And now that a lot of people, along with the music changing, people have changed, period. So, I was just saying that the other day to somebody, I forgot who that was when I was doing the interview, but because my mind is running like 1,000 miles a minute. But when you put out something now, people are only listening to, like a couple of tracks. You might have 12 tracks on here, they only listen to 2.
Yeah.
So, as opposed to 10 years, 20 years ago, people wanted to listen to a whole album. They wanted a body of work. You know what I'm saying? It was expected of you to have something of quality and to have an actual full body of work. So now it's like, this single isn't working. Okay, cool. I don't want to listen to the rest of it.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate too. Like, I wish that we would kind of like get back to that. You know what I mean? Like where we are providing the people with what we know they need, as opposed to them telling me, I'm the creative, but you're gonna tell me how to create. It just doesn't, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah. Everything I think it came with a standard that became normal. Of things being so microwavable, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so people became that way. But now you see like people starting to really think and go back to things, and older groups like, you know, SWV and Escape are doing it verses now, obviously.
Yes.
And everybody's so excited about that. But it's because we miss real R&B, we miss real music, real artists. So it's like this stuff that was put out before, you know, you went along with it, but it's like, okay, now we need the real thing back. Like, what's going on?
Like, come on, I need to feel something. And I just well, I started my own entertainment company, and it's called Me, AWE. And the reason I called it that is because I want everything that comes from this company, whether it's a song, a candle, a book, whatever comes from this company, it needs to be something that makes you stop and stare and listen and look in awe. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things that look the same, sound the same, or don't allow you to feel anything, that I want to do the opposite. And I don't care how long it takes you to warm up to it or what. I don't care about none of that. I'm giving quality. We're not doing that. That's enough of that.
Exactly. I just said that the other day with Karen White, and I was talking about her song Superwoman. I'm like, that song is how old, but people will sing that like it's brand new because of the emotion and the rawness that she put into it, although she hadn't been through that experience probably during that time. But it was something real, and you were like, dang, I feel this. You know what I'm saying? I feel it in my soul. Like, it's just something about it. You gave people real, you know, feelings, authenticness. And I think that's what's missing a lot. But I'm sure you are going to be one of the people to bring that back. And I'm so glad about that. But I got to talk about the Genius Aretha series, though. I did see you in that the other night when I was watching it. So I was definitely glad about that. You and Mila and Shamari.
Yes.
I was like, wow, this is awesome. So to see all of you on there, Mila I just had on a few months ago. I love all of you girls though, but talk to me about that. So how was that experience for you? I'm sure it was fun.
Yes, that experience was so much fun. And I'm so glad that I got to do it with Mila and Shamari, because it just, you know, we just had like our little sisterhood. We just had our little friend group, and you know, we stuck together and we had fun, we laughed, you know what I'm saying? But then we also like did our job. We came and executed and did our job. And it was just such a great experience. And, you know, I've done some acting, I've done a lot of stage plays and stuff, but this was like my first major, you know, national TV thing.
Right.
And to see myself on the screen singing my little backgrounds for Aretha, it was really exciting, and it made me want more, you know, it made me want more of it, to experience more moments like that. So I was excited about it.
Yes, I was definitely excited when I seen you guys on there, because I didn't expect that. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Did you have to audition for that part though? Oh, okay. I hope not.
I didn't. You know, it's a blessing that sometimes you can just, you know, you do right by people, you have a good reputation, you can some things shape. So I'm blessed to just have been considered. Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it. During the times that you guys weren't filming though, were you guys you know, becoming groups again?
I mean, we were cool. But I think the production like brought us together more, like because we had to see each other every day. We had to rehearse with each other. We had to learn, you know, our dance moves. We had to really work together like a group. You know what I mean? We were getting our hair and makeup done together, and you know, we we did everything together during that production. So I think that brought us, closer together.
Right. Of course, Shamari had been a lead singer of a group, and Mila had been a lead singer of a group, 702 and Black. But did you ever consider being in a group at any point?
I always thought that I wanted to, like Destiny's Child, the original Destiny's Child, that was a huge influence in my life when I was in middle school. So I entertained it, and I tried to like have a little group with my friends and stuff in high school, but that's a lot. That's a lot to have to depend on other people to make sure you sound good and you're flowing and everything. I don't really think that that's for me.
Yeah. I said the same thing. It's cool because you have somebody, or you have multiple people there, whose voices come together to blend together.
Yeah.
And that's always something beautiful. But, people don't really always talk about the bad things that happen, what about when egos flare and you're mad, but I got to go out on stage with you now, but, because we're a group.
Yeah. Now, I do think that I have that with Broadway because, we always work together. We're always doing music together. We're working on our second project right now also. So I do have that with him. You could say that we're a group, or outside of our solo stuff. So I do have that with him. But that's somebody that I've known since I was in the 6th grade, and we know each other. You know what I mean? So
right.
I think it's a little different from when people just put some girls together and say, "Hey, go make some music."
Yeah, it is, because you know what, you have a lot of problems later too, because they don't really know each other, and then it's like, I gotta be with you almost 24/7, and now I didn't really know who you were, but now I got to see you during the good, the bad, and the indifferent. So I don't know if this is gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Broadway have had the album or the EP, A Tale of Two Hearts, in 2018 as well. So I did want to mention that. But like you said, you guys grew up together. So how does that feel, being able to sing with somebody that you grew up with? You know what I'm saying? It's not manufactured. It's, we're friends. We know each other. How does that feel to go in the booth and then make something like this come out and you're like, wow, I love it?
It feels great. It's effortless. You let it flow. We're so in sync that when let's say we hear a track, it just happens so fluidly and it's easy. You know what I mean? There's no stress. We ain't trying to come up with no hit. It just happens. You know what I mean? So I definitely love having chemistry with somebody. And we actually have a song called Chemistry that's going to be on my album. Okay. But yeah, it's great. It's a really great feeling. And because we've known each other for so long, we've like grown together. So like, we may not have known how to communicate, when we were 16, and 21, you know what I mean? But now we both have, I think we're witnessing each other's growth. So, we just handle any negative things or, any spats or whatever, we just handle them like super mature and, we keep it moving. It's always about the art.
Yeah. That's the beautiful part about it. I just thought about it in my mind. One of the first times that I seen you on YouTube was on the Scorpion show, matter of fact. When you guys did that interview I think it was a hotel, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I laughed about that. Do you just look back at that stuff sometimes and just be like, oh my God, like what is going on?
Yeah, it's a lot of moments that it's just kind of like, but they're all experiences, you know what I mean? Like you have to, it's just the way things go. You experience things and you learn things, and it's all about life, so I don't really be tripping about anything. Yeah.
That makes sense. So you can't have a chip on your shoulder about everything. Or else you're gonna walk around mad all the time.
All the time. And it's like, I'm not, especially now, like where I am in my life now, I'm not going to allow anything or anybody mess up my peace and mess up my happiness. And if it's a recurring thing, then you gotta go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Perspective is the name of the new album.
Yes.
Do we know how many tracks are on it yet?
10. 10.
10. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we got Let It Be out already. So that's on all streaming
Mhm.
platforms.
Mhm.
So we definitely and the album is going to come out in the summer.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
it is.
So we definitely looking forward to that. But before you go, Dondria, I definitely enjoyed you and I thank you so much. But let everybody know where they can find you on your social sites and website if you have one as well.
Yes, absolutely. So we can start with Instagram. You can follow me at Dondria Nicole.
Okay.
Twitter, I'll still be on Twitter at Dondria. And then my website is dondrianicole.com. And I also have I have hand poured some candles that I wanted to make to complement the song Let It Be.
Okay.
And so they smell really good. They're handmade with love by myself. They're available on my website. And the idea is to burn it while you're listening to the song, or burn it when, if there's something that you need to let go of or let be, you burn that candle and you kind of like, you center yourself and you let yourself know that you got this. Like you are in control. But it's funny because you got to let go to be in control.
That's right. That's right. It's true. It's true. Well, if you could just take us on out with a little bit of You're the One for Me.
Absolutely.
Well, it's You're the One, but I don't add it on for me on there.
Okay. I feel it all over my body. I dream about you when I sleep. Yeah. You're the one for me. Yeah. You're the one for me. All the signs say that ever since the day that we laid eyes on each other, baby. You're the one for me, yeah. You're the one for me, hey.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is none other than Dondria. Thank you so much again, Dondria, okay?
Hey, thank you.